Good evening, everybody. It's Randy here, coming at you from Panama City, Panama. We've got just a few more days until the end of Shemitah, but I think we've got some interesting stuff leading up to the end here that could wreak some havoc in the markets this week. And we're going to talk about some of the stuff that's happening, as well as some recent things that have been happening in my life that tell me that a lot of people are thinking the same thing is going to happen. But usually when everyone's looking one way, the opposite happens. That just seems how it rolls, right? Maybe the worst has already happened and we're just gonna get out of this without any more wounds. We'll see how it goes. Thank you, BC in the Matrix. Drew, my brew. Winter Shemitah is coming. Randy is the man. Smash like and support the good word. Life changer. Thank you. Yeah, please support with the likes and the subscribes. You guys are the Shemitah jokes. You're all going to hell. Good evening, Sun Shemitah. Hope you're doing great, Randy. I always enjoy your streams and talks of any kind. It's your personality, attitude, underlying integrity. Keep being you, bro. Great energy. Thank you, Pepe. I appreciate that. Human X Trafficker, what up, fam? We are single digit Shmitas. Yeah. Hey, Randy, I really appreciate these great streams. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication. No problem. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a stormy Shemitah for me today. Yeah, look, it was raining here again today. I've had rain every day for like 2 weeks straight. Hey, Shay. Yo, what's happening? Good morning, all. Coffee and Shemitah time with you all and my confused dog. Welcome, Fat Bob. Good evening, Randy and everyone. Love these streams. So many new things I've been learning. It's mind-blowing. TFX, that's my job. Black Label Expat. MJ Money 777. Joni from Canada. I'm nervous about Shemitah and not sure what to do with my liquid hex. You got liquid hex. Well, liquid hex is meant to be staked. So do something with it. Either stake it with the traditional gohex.com or turn it into an HSI stake on Hedron, or turn it to an HSI stake on Hedron, then sell it to the ICOSA contract and get ICOSA and stake ICOSA. So I know it's confusing, but we went over those last night, the 4 different things you can do with your hex. Holy Shemitah. Randy, you think CBDCs can destroy crypto? No, I don't think they're going to destroy. I think they're going to be parallel. I think most of the assets of the world are going to go to crypto, real estate, gold and silver, art. Everything is going to be on the blockchain, whether it's NFTs or another form of digital asset. And that's what we're going to call crypto. And then everything else, or the currency side, is going to be CBDCs. And that's how I think it's going to roll. But remember, that's my opinion. They could try to put CBDCs as a total umbrella over everything, and I hope not. Hey, Soldier Pete, doing good. It was another great day. Went down to the waterfront today. The storm is coming. Yes, it is. BTC and ETH dropping. Yes, they are right at 1,300 for ETH. Yeah, I can see that. Crypto Freedom. Good evening, Mr. Randy. Much respect. Let's meet the. That's my buddy Mike. What up, bro? I like the Hex light halo around the Hex book. Yeah, thank you. That was my wife's idea. Pleased to meet you. Everybody, guys. Interesting to see what happens at End of Shmita. Yeah, it's typical. It would probably have a capitulation candle. Generation wealth is incoming. PLS, EHEX. Yes. You can't afford the gas fees. Got to ride liquid. All right, Stephen. No problem. Yeah, the gas. That's why we need pulse chain. Looks like the market is getting ready for a big hit, whether people know it or not. Yeah. We know it. Anybody who's here knows it. one of these days after PLS and PLX launch, I'm going to have to visit Panama and take you out for dinner. Paul Scanes, I would love that. Do you think Wednesday will be 75 or 100 hike? I think it's a whole 100. You're doing good work, Randy. Got a question about an upcoming stake. Should I touch the ETH W or let it bleed? He's speaking out. Should he go to ETH proof of work and let it bleed? I would go in and take care of it. Why not? Just don't go playing with trading. Stay away from the trading. Okay. Hex is going up in ETHW. Yeah, Pac-Man, it is. Thing is, if you have hex stakes and your hex is staked, there's no reason to play with it on ETHW. Just for those of you who do not know, Ethereum forked last week. And now we have two chains. We have ETH proof of stake, which is what our regular hex is on. And then we have ETH proof of work, which means you got every coin that you have, you got to double on over on ETH proof of work. Now, I know my friend Mike Pacone's going to message me. He's going to be private messaging like, oh, Randy, what do I do with that? You don't have to do anything. Just let it ride. When the times come, you'll do it. But right at this current moment, just stay away from it. Let me move this down a little bit. Get that out of there. Yeah, I wouldn't mess with it too much. I've heard some stuff about 75 points this month and 50 next. Stephen, they're just going to keep raising rates. I told you this is war. This isn't just about fighting inflation. It's a worldwide war. Who's going to control the worldwide currencies? What do you think Powell wants his legacy to be, especially with Volcker as a role model? He wants to be the guy that saved the U.S. dollar hegemony, meaning the U.S. dollar as the world reserve currency. He doesn't want to be the guy that lost the world reserve currency status of the U.S. dollar. Trust me. He doesn't want to be that guy. So let's go into the news real quick. I don't know if I have. God, I didn't share the screen yet. Let me see. All right. Bonds yield rise. 2-year Treasury tops 3.85% on higher Fed rate hike expectations. Yes, everyone's expecting a higher than the 75 basis points. Everyone's thinking 100 basis points. Short-term U.S. Treasury yields continue to rise Thursday as investors weigh the prospect of larger rate hikes from the Federal Reserve at its meeting next week. The yield on the 2-year Treasury, which is among those who most affected by Fed decisions, rose more than 7 basis points to 3.858%, its highest level since 2007. Since 2007. Yields move inversely to prices, and a basis point is equal to 0.01%. Meanwhile, the yield on the benchmark 10-year Treasury note was up more than 3 basis points at 3.447, and the 30-year was at 3.472. Now here's all of them, and all the changes. Make that bigger so you guys can see that. When this stuff goes up, the stock market goes down, crypto goes down, gold and silver go down. That's how we roll. When this stuff goes up, everything else goes down, because our housing prices go down too, because the higher the interest rate is, it means less people can get mortgages, less people can refinance. They can't afford it. So they're stuck. All right. Those expensive homes, those $500,000 to $1 million homes that they overbuilt, they built too many of them. Well, they're going to sit there because people aren't going to be able to get the mortgages that they could get just a year ago when it was closer to much lower rates. So just be prepared. Everything's going to be coming down in price. Is it a time to worry? No, I wouldn't worry too much. Why? Because you guys are educated. You guys know what's coming. You can foresee the future now. You're paying attention. If you were watching this live stream, you're paying attention. And there's a lot of other good people that you can watch too, not just myself. So get to reading. Watch the Rich Dad Poor Dad podcast. Joe Rogan's podcast, he's a good one too. He's got some finance people on there sometimes. Watch Richard Hart of Hex. He's a good one for talking about the crypto side. Geez, I can't think of these folks' names right at the top of my head, but there's some people that you can watch to see what's going on. And I promise you, I'm going to be live streaming twice a week once this is done. I'm probably going to do Sunday nights and Wednesday nights. I talked about it with my wife. She wants our weekends free. So, so I said Sunday nights and Wednesday nights. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll bring you guys the current news and what I think is going to happen to the overall crypto market. And I'll also be doing interviews that I could bring on to show you guys too. So I think that'd be helpful. Let's see. I've heard some stuff. Yeah. What do you think about? Okay, we saw that. Took your advice, stayed away from ETH since I'm staked. Glad I did. Yeah, it's just not ready, guys. It's not ready for prime time yet. They got some kinks I need to get out over there. Crypto dumping ahead of Fed's 1 point increase. AK, you're absolutely right. Everything's going to start dumping. Right, like crypto. They're like, oh, it's already priced in. It's not freaking priced in. People need to feel pain, and they're going to start selling, and that's going to cause like a waterfall event where people are going to start selling, and people are going to get liquidated, and it's going to cause larger than normal candles over the next 2 weeks. Hey, Steve. Tech dude, how low do you think Hex can go? I've got my USDC ready and waiting. Capitulation candle, which means it could go way further than you thought, could go under a penny, and then it just bounces back really quick because there'll be a lot of people with buy orders on the books waiting to buy up Hex at that cheap. My bottom calls 9,000 BTC, 0.008 Hex, 600 ETH, 2,500 S&P. Wow, cool. That ETH is a little bit lower than me. I said 700 to 800, so that's just under what I said. And 0.008 Hex is right where I think it could bottom out with a capitulation candle. 9,000 BTC, that would be brutal. All the laser eye people have to put their balls in a freaking vice. Good morning, Randy and fam. Flying at 2x speed, catching up. Welcome, Paul. Hope this is going too fast for you. AK Clueless. November, December, mainnet, RH. Am I missing in action? I think he's just working hard. Hope he's just working hard. Will crypto markets go down 40% or higher? Want to buy some cheap crypto? It's totally possible. Look, this is how it is. Things get bad. What's the first thing people sell? Their most liquid assets. What's their most liquid asset? It's their crypto. Then they go to their gold and silver. That's what they sell second usually. And then the third thing they sell is their stocks. The last thing they sell is their house. All right. So that's just normally how it goes. Crypto is the most liquid asset, but crypto is the most speculative as well. So when people have extra money, they start, just throwing it all into crypto. Hope you're right, AK. LOL, 0.008 Hex is going to be great. Yes, it is. And no, the ORX indicator is not fixed yet, Corey. I will message them again tomorrow because I was just trying to play with it earlier. I took my old ones off, reset them, put it back on. It's still not working. So the ORX indicator is working, yes, for Bitcoin and Ethereum, but not for any of the Uniswap pairs. It's the Uniswap is the problem. No problem, exponential gains. I like listening to your take on things. You make it easier to understand. Thanks for all you do. I drive my wife crazy. I always tell her when I mansplain stuff, I make it things that she can understand. I'll talk about stupid shit to help her get my point across. I don't have to as much anymore. But when we first got married, she thought I was a nut job the way I am. She calls it my paranoia, but now she's getting used to it. Did you think the Hex low is in like RH said? No. I never believed that. It wasn't because I don't believe in RH. It's because when the markets go down, which includes Bitcoin and Ethereum, Hex is going down with it. It's just that Hex is going to go back up faster. That's how, when Hex goes up, it's decorrelated. When Hex goes down, it's riding along with Bitcoin just like everybody else. I'm not worried as long as there is fear or greed, there's money to trade or money to be made. Absolutely. I'm not nervous at all. Cheers for your time and knowledge. Thanks, Astri. Look, we were in the car tonight driving home. My wife made a comment. I got kind of annoyed that she made this comment. It was something like a fearful comment. And I said, why are you being fearful? I said, there's no need to be fearful. I said, we're set. We're good to go for at least 6 months. And she goes, well, you're always fearful. You're being paranoid. I said, I'm not being paranoid. I'm just protecting my household. I'm making sure everything's there. I said, I'll take the stress on me because it doesn't bother me. And I said, you just worry about everything else. So that's just how we work. And sometimes I just have to remind her that, look, this, to me, this isn't stress. This is just a man being a man. That's what our job is in a marriage, in my opinion. 0.008 would invalidate RH call to DCC that the bottom is in for hex would be a blessing for us that joined the last 14 months. Yes, it would, Paul. If you get 0.008, you are a lucky camper. Wow, really, that would be amazing. I do have some stable coins set aside for just an occasion like that. Buenas noches, gente. ¿Cómo estás? Robin Hevo. Sailor might wet his pants, especially after his recent buy. Tech dude, yeah. 0.00 hex sounds like Christmas for all of us newer guys that were strong enough to wait through the all-time high. I'll have to DCA down from 0.03. Look, we had 3 cents today. It dipped all the way to 3 cents. And right now we're at 324. It came back up a little bit. Pomp removed his laser eyes. He also removed Bitcoin in his title. Time to be alert and active, guys. This is when you plan your DCA. When Pomp has lasers eyes on, start planning your sells. Absolutely. When everyone's talking about something, sell. When everyone's crying about something, buy. K crypto, it's not why. It's just, when you look at the charts, it just looks like a good number for people to just finally say, geez, I'm out of here. This thing's not going anywhere. And then we're going to have that big, when I say a capitulation candle, it's when we get one of those candles, it's going to go down 25, 30, 40%. And people are just going to be, they're going to be bawling their eyes out. Then there are other ones that won't even see it because they'll be in bed. Our Aussie friends might be in bed, or the people in the UK might be in bed, not even see the capitulation candle. That's why you have to have your order set using cow swap or what's the other one? Jeez, there's a couple. Matcha, XYZ, where you could set your limit orders. Hey, Lights Out's here. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Hey, Crypto, thanks for really enjoying this series. No, I'm happy to be here. It's a weird thing where you want Hex to go down to DCA more, but you want Hex to pump too. Squareworks, I actually want it to go down because I know plenty of people who want to build a bag to ride on the way up. I am guaranteeing that we're going to have in 2005 or 2025, 2026, we're going to have a major bull market. At that time, Hex will likely go over $1. And if we can get a opportunity right now to get 1 million Hex or 500,000 Hex or whatever we can get prior to that, for a lot of people, that'll change their lives. And that's why I'm hoping for that. My wife lets me handle the crypto. She handles other things. Works great. Exactly. Okay, I want to talk about what's happened with gold and silver in the past. For those of you guys who don't know, I work with a company called Load One, and you can see my referral link down below. I don't talk about referral links much, but Loads, they take care of us. They're great people, and they're gold and silver on the blockchain. So it's unallocated gold and silver, meaning there's a bunch of silver and gold in the vaults, and you're buying it, and it just goes with everybody else's. But they also have an NFT program coming out where you can buy NFTs of gold and silver, like 100 ounces, and that's yours. That's called allocated. I mean, it's separated, and that's just assigned to that Ethereum address. So it's cool. They got some really cool stuff coming out, and their new app just launched. So that's why I'm happy to talk about it now. But let's talk about gold. This is in 2008, March 2008. I was accumulating gold and silver through here because I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I read Peter Schiff's The Dollar Collapse. I was watching Ron Paul. I was watching all these guys. And then the real estate market collapsed in 2007, and the stock market collapsed in September 2008. That was the day that the stock market collapsed 50%. Now, gold and silver also did the same thing. It collapsed with the stock market. So gold went from we'll say this high right here, it was $976 an ounce, and it dropped all the way down to $712. And that was in a very short time frame. So this was March, then in November. Now this was a Shemitah year. So you see what a Shemitah year can do to gold. And the same thing's happening right now. You see gold earlier in the year, and now this is March, and look where gold's going right now. And in the beginning, in March 30th, it was $1,933 an ounce, and right now we are $1,669 an ounce. And we're going into the Shemitah day, which is a week from now, and I'm guessing that we're going to head down towards the 1600 range. Now, what happens after? The first things that I think are going to rally post Shemitah are going to be gold and silver and crypto. Now, here's gold and silver. We hit this bottom in 12 November 2008. The actual day that everything collapsed was September 8th. Let's see if I can get September 8th there. That was, I can't get it exactly on the chart, but it was close enough. September 26th. And then we went all the way down. And then look at this multi-year run for gold. It was beautiful. This is when I moved to Panama. I moved here 5 May, and I worked for a gold and silver company. So my first year in Panama was riding this and selling the hell out of this. But everyone wanted gold and silver at the time. Everybody and their brother wanted gold and silver. It was just crazy. And the guys who were selling gold and silver were making a lot of money. And then you saw it come back down, and now we're doing the same thing again. So we're here, going down. We're going to do just like this. We're going to come right down for Shemitah, and then we're going to bounce back up and probably have a multi-year bull run for gold and silver. Now, here's silver. Same thing. Here's 2008. Had its 13 July 2008, and then it just kept going down into Shemitah. Then by the end of Shemitah, or it was about 13 October, it was $10.78 ounces, $10.78 an ounce, down from $18.80. All right. Once again, I was buying through all of here. And if my friend Mike McCone's still watching, that's when I was living with him. I was waiting for some stuff to happen with my family. It didn't work out, but I just left Tampa, Florida. I came back to Rochester. I sold all my gold and silver right here, and I moved back with my best friend, and that was an interesting time. But then we'll look what happened all the way up to 2011. I'll never forget this day, 19 April 2011. Silver hit $43.92 an ounce. It's crazy, and we're doing the same thing right now. We're taking that dip, and then likely right after Shemitah, boom, we're going to have that big old drop off, and then it'll just recover and it'll keep riding high. We've never experienced this with crypto because this was in 2008, and that's right when Bitcoin launched. Remember, Bitcoin was launched in response to what was happening with the Fed and the inflation and how they were lowering interest rates and things like that. So Satoshi Nakamoto built Bitcoin, and Bitcoin to me is going to act just like gold and silver. So the first things that are going to recover out the gate, and it might take a little while, is gold, silver, and crypto. All right, let's go up to you guys. Can cow swap set limit orders? Yes, they can. I hope people will take advantage of the hex dip opportunity. Squareworks, they really should. Can you claim your gold and silver from the impound request? Yes, you can, Paul. Take possession? Yes. It would be hilarious if the Shemitah countdown was just a Jewish version of the 12 days of Christmas. Balloted. What percentage of silver and gold do you own physical versus paper? I'm 100% digital now. I had a bad experience during what was it called? CV COVID stuff during the pandemic. I had a bunch of silver, and we were escaping Panama. Because Panama was still under lockdown, they had a bunch of dumb rules, and where we lived was a gated community, and they didn't like me. They were calling the cops on me all the time because I would break the rules and go for walks with my son and stuff like that. So we escaped to Mexico. And a couple days before I left, my friend Mike, my gentleman from South Africa, I called him up and said, "Hey, Mike, I got all the silver," and he runs the vault where they keep gold and silver here in Panama. It's in the old Howard Air Force Base. I said, Mike, I said, look, I'm traveling. I don't know what to do with my silver. I don't want to leave it anywhere. Is there any way you could buy it from me? So he bought all my silver in one fell swoop. But I didn't, before that, I had no idea what to do with it, because people in Panama, they're not silver. They'll buy gold. We went to like 4 places. I went to pawn shops and everything, and nobody would buy the silver. If I had gold, they would have bought it. So it was pretty frustrating because I'm a silver guy. I love silver. I don't like gold that much. I much prefer silver. Yeah, nobody wanted it. So that was a terrible experience. So now I'm just going to go digital and have the option of taking it, and I can get loans against it, do all kinds of stuff, because they got vaults all over the world, and they're actually one of the few cryptos in the world that is full on security. They're already a security. They don't have to file for it. They already did. So that's why I support these guys. I'm happy. Yeah, I'll probably do an interview with the founder in the coming weeks. Do you think gold will perform better than silver? No. Silver. This is how I say gold and silver. Gold is the Boeing 747. It's the big ass plane. It can't make very sharp moves. It just kind of lumbers along, right? But the freaking silver is like a jet, a fighter jet. It goes up and down all over the place because it's an industrial metal. So it's still used to make things like our cell phones are full of silver and gold, but mostly silver, because of the conductivity in that, and it has really good properties. So they use silver in a lot of things, our computers and all that. Whereas gold, they use it so little for industrial use. Most of it's just jewelry and things like that. So I much prefer silver. Tampa Bay is a nice area. Yes, it is, Pac-Man. I loved it. I had such a great time. And for a while there, I didn't even have a car. I just rode my bike to work. I lived with my brother, and I worked at St. Joseph's Hospital right by the stadium, the football stadium. And I lived about 3 miles from work. Just rode my bike back and forth to work every day. Worked at the mental health unit. Had so much fun. I was making good money too. Glad I did not sell my silver. Trenton, don't worry, you're going to have a dip here pretty soon. But after that, you should do very well. Do you sell your metals at the top and buy back and hold? Yeah, I would always do that. I would always sell at the top. There's a bunch of people in my life that I tried to convince to sell the top, and they didn't want to do it. They're like, I like my silver, like Mr. Scrooge McDuck. I like my silver. I'm not giving it up. I tried to tell him when it was like $40 an ounce. I'm like, dump it. I got you in when it was $6. It's now 42. Dump that shit. Take the profits. And they didn't do it. They still got it though. A lot of Christian prophetic voices say silver will have a harder rally than gold, but both are supposed to rally. Really, Pulse Games. I believe it. Silver's going to rally really hard. For those of you guys who don't, okay, let's do a little bit of education. Traditionally, between silver and gold, there was a 1-to-10 ratio. For every 1 ounce of gold, there's 10 ounces of silver when it came to the price. So if you had 10 ounces of silver and they were $20 each, an ounce of gold would have been 200. So 20 ounces of silver would equal 1 bar of gold. Okay. Well, that changed. And now, because of the paper markets, it's gotten so out of hand. It's out of whack big time. And I don't know how many ounces exactly. Let me see my calculator. I'm going to give you a run. I'm not even going to look up the numbers, so I won't have an exact, but I'll break it down. I'm just going to say gold is $1,800 an ounce. Silver is 20, just to round it out. So it's 90 to 1 right now. So in history, typically gold and silver is either a 10 to 1 or a 20 to 1 in ratio. Right now it's at 90 to 1. That means in nature also, the silver and gold in the ground is a ratio of 10 to 1. So we need to get from 90 to 1 back to 10 to 1. And that would bring the ratio back into a proper a price. So that's why I think silver is the one to use if you want to speculate. Any thoughts about the gold chart looking good over about 20 years, but flat over 10 years? Let's look at the chart again. This is silver, gold. Well, over 20 years, it looks really good. Over 10 years. Yeah, it doesn't. Let's look at the 10-year. It's so boring. I know Richard, whenever he shows the chart, he makes fun of it because over the last 10 years, and Peter Schiff likes to argue about his gold, say how great it is, but it's just a big. Maybe we're getting that cup and handle. Who knows? Nice cup and handle. It's forming right now. Let's see where Hedron will hit lows in this pullback. I don't know. Is it gonna? I mean, it's at 3145 right now, but everything's gonna dip low this next week. Historically, silver outperforms gold, but gold usually rallies first. Yeah. In the bull markets, silver always outperforms. It's just that gold doesn't move as fast. It's much slower mover. Silver freaking skyrockets. What's your take on the all naked shorts that keep the precious metals in such an out of sync relationship with the rest of the markets? Paladin, that is paper money. They're playing with paper money. They're not playing with the real gold and silver. So if anybody notices right now, silver might be below $20 an ounce. Sorry, motorcycle. How annoying is that? So silver is just below $20 an ounce. And if you try to go buy silver coins right now, you're probably going to pay closer to 30. So there's like a 50% premium. That's what happens when paper markets are out of sync. It's going to get worse. The more of these people that in the paper markets that want to get real gold and silver, they're going to try to trade it for real gold and silver. They're going to have a hard time. They're all going to be rushing for the door, just like for a bank run. When everybody wants to get real cash out of the bank and it's too late, you got people down the street trying to get their money, and then all of a sudden the bank says, "Oh, we don't have any more cash. Got to lock the doors." That's the situation the gold and silver markets are going to be in when the COMEX, the COMEX, that's who hold the gold and silver, when they don't have the gold and silver left. If you didn't get your stuff out in time, you're going to be left with nothing. That's why I like the digital gold and silver, because it's yours, but it's not held by the COMEX. It's held privately by Load One, and it's in vaults in Switzerland, Singapore, places like that. Underworld control paper price. Yes, they do. I can't wait for the paper prices to collapse. What was the name of the gold and silver based crypto again? Got here late. Lode, LODE. And they also have a DAO token they just launched where you get to participate, because it is a security, in how they make money on the mining and stuff, because they've got mining companies, they've got refining companies, everything with Lode. So they got from mining it all the way to the minting. So that's why I love them. I don't want this to be a me marketing just for Lode, but it's just a good company. If you guys are interested, it's down below in the affiliate. And I could do an interview with Ian or Nick from the team, and they're happy to come on, but I won't do it for the Shemitah thing. I'll actually do a separate one. BTC. Oops. Yeah. Things are getting ugly. Let's pull that up in a second. Let's do some Hex BTC charts. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do that right now, guys. Da-da-da. First up, Ethereum. Look at that. Oof. 1,350 cents. How ugly. Freaking ugly. It's in the monthly. We still got the Reddit Oryx indicator. The AI is about as ugly as it can possibly get. The demand index is about to fall below zero on the monthly. Nothing pretty about that. The daily, look at that. We were at 1660 at the merge, and now we're at 1300. So a $360 drop ever since the merge happened. And if you're following me, I told you buy the rumor, sell the news. We've been doing these live streams since back here, and I was saying buy the rumor, sell the news. The AI is creeping up on the daily, but the DI is still heading down. And that, demand index is just talking about volume and how many people are actually interested in the trade and that kind of thing. So we're heading down. Not looking good for ETH. Bitcoin is just boring. Nothing's happening. Seriously. I lost the Aurochs indicator. If you're using Aurochs, you go to Aurochs here. Aurochs indicators right at the top one. We still got the sell on the monthly. AI is not looking good, and the DI is This looks way worse than Ethereum, in my opinion. Look at this. Nothing pretty here at all. We are not going up yet. Here's Hex. Hex is taking a little bit of a dip. We're at 0.3227. But what if we did just dip 50% more? That would take us down to 1.6 cents. I think 1.6 cents is respectable. That would be like a 98% drop from the top. That'd be a good place to get in. And then you could thank the shemitah that you got in so cheap. Because this year has been, ever since last September, we've been in a shemitah year and everything's been trending down. I think what saved Hex last year was the Pulse Hex sacrifice. It brought us back up, and we've been trending down ever since. And here's Hedron, 3145. And look at this. Just wait until this breaks out again. I'm thinking October, mid-October, this thing's just going to start trending up and to the right. I'm not saying to trade it. I just think that's what's going to happen. So that's the chart right there. It's so, I mean, charts don't have to be complicated, guys. It's just pretty easy to do. Think it's possibly different this cycle with the popularity of crypto. When people pull out of stock market, they go into crypto sooner. Yes, I do believe that. I believe because I think that crypto is very much like gold and silver. People like it. You have more of a mental attachment to it. The stocks, not so much. I mean, do you have a mental attachment to GMC or Ford or Tesla? Maybe some of you guys might with Tesla, but there's a lot of stocks out there. You just buy them because people tell you, oh, you should own the stock, right? But in crypto, you really feel an affinity to a certain project and you identify with it, like us, like me with Pulse Chain and Hex and PulseX and Ethereum. I've been a long time Ethereum guy. So I feel like these are part of my life. It sounds weird, but they are. And everyone that's around me, I talk about it all the time. So I'm constantly talking about crypto. And everyone around me gets so tired of it. But once they buy in and they start having fun with it, just like us, then they understand where I'm coming from and they love crypto too. So as long as they're not trading, if you're trading, then you might lose. The first time you see a 10, 20, or 30x and you're like, oh shit, this is amazing. I'm going to stick around because you're going to get it again. Yeah, I've been through 3 of these. This is my 3rd bear market and it gets ugly. Yeah, 420 hex load. Randy, you ever hear of goldbacks? Hundreds of businesses out west take them for currency. No, I have not heard of that, Paul. I've been out of the U.S. for so long. This is my 12th, and May will be 12 years. I don't really pay attention to the things anymore. Sorry. So vault stash of silver, like what Mike Maloney offers, load much better. They're all similar. It's just that load has the DAO token where you can invest in the mining and all that too. The nice thing about being able to be part of that is that you're getting the multiples. So there are gold and silver stocks out there. If you buy the mining, there's a lot of times where gold and silver stocks, they go crazy. They do much better than the actual underlying silver and gold, is because it's like a leverage and you're buying into the leverage of a company and they go crazy. And that's why I think the DAO token is going to do fabulous. They just launched it last week. So I love it. That's why when they said, Randy, you want to come on board? I was like, sure. Because one of my friends, her name is Michelle. She's like, Randy, my boyfriend's with this company. You got to come work with them. And then David Morgan was on the team. If any of you guys are into silver, David Morgan is probably the number 1 guy in the world that's into silver, and he's on the company. And I get to talk to him every Monday. It's awesome. One of my heroes is on the team. Many WOROL stack goldbacks with bullets and food. Yes, they do. Bullets is the other thing. Silver is the original altcoin. Aaron Webster, absolutely right. How's Acapulco, by the way? Aaron's one of my friends in Acapulco. Many in the WRO. Yeah. You can get 100-ounce silver bars for 2,400 or so. Still a big premium, but better than coins. Yep. People like to buy. The thing is, though, one of the things if we're going to talk about physical now, I used to always buy the Chinese pandas because the Chinese pandas, they always had a nice premium. So when they first get minted, and the year, say if you're buying it this year, it'll be 2023s or the new ones coming will be 2023s. You buy those and you probably get them close to spot price. So you might be able to get them $20 each, but within 2 or 3 years, the coins are $50 each because everybody wants them because the artwork on them is so beautiful. Unlike just getting a regular silver bar, which you're just going to get spot price for. That's the only reason. But in the end, if things are getting rough, no one's going to care if there's a picture on it or not. It's just that if the economies are good, people care about numismatics as well. Numismatics means something that's collectible. FYI, we barely hear the motorcycle. It seems like your mic filters most of it out. Oh, thanks, Pulse Gains. Appreciate that. Thanks for feedback. Sounds interesting. Sure, lights out. Holy crap. So many comments. I hit the arrow down, so now I'm lost with my there we go. Just a warning that a whale sent 6,068 BTC to Huobi exchange. He's about to shemitah the price. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. They're getting ready. There's significant premium when buying physical metals, as there are ways to buy metals with truly lower fees. Not really. If you're buying the real deal, there's always premiums. What will be your ETH bottom call? I'm saying 700 to 800. Didn't make sense that R8 said he thought the bottom was in for Hex when his BTC bottom call is 11,000. Yeah, it didn't make sense. Maybe it was just he was being positive for the community. But if you're gonna be a bear, be a bear. Thank you, Susie. For reals. Getting ready to start toe dipping into the ETH and the corn been there. Ben years, patience pays. Yes. Hey, Cabana, how you doing? Pulse Gains, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, I know that there's a lot of people too in our crypto community that just hate gold and silver. I don't understand it. That's where I was born of. I would never have found Bitcoin if it wasn't for silver and gold. Right? What do you think about buying ETHW at 2S lows and send them to a new wallet and load up all you can Hex? Like Pac-Man, that's very speculative stuff. You can do it. Just play with money that if you lose it, you don't care. That's all. Don't play with money that you have to pay bills with. Okay? Promise me you're not going to do that. just fun money, like kind that you would go to the casino with. Lights out. There are bots that monitor whales on Twitter, specifically massive transfers to exchanges. Yes, they do. They do a good job for the community. What's the best way to onboard a friend? Most of mine don't know anything about crypto. When I talk about Bitcoin and Hex, it's like I'm talking a foreign language. Okay. For people like that, I just show them my staker app. I know it's not as easy right now because the price is down, but you tell them about me. If some people are driven by material things, like I bought my truck. Was about $400 worth of Hex in 2020. It bought me a truck after taxes and everything, about $93,000. So $400, $93,000 in less than 2 years. Tell them stuff like that. You're not going to get that in the stock market unless you're trading options and those kind of things. There's very few ways. Crypto is the way to do it. When an LL goes live, should you stick all your PLS in at once or wait for a while? How I made, do not do that. Liquid loans is also leverage. You've got to be careful. So when you take leverage on your PLS, just do a small amount. So, and only do it so that you can't get liquidated. Like there's almost impossible for you to you would need Pulse to drop 95% for you to get liquidated. That's how little I would use of your Pulse and borrow against. Don't play games with liquid loans. It's just another way to use leverage. But the great thing is that we never have to sell our Pulse. So if we let our Pulse go up 100x, and then I could take out 5% of that, get my original money back, and use that to buy something else. That's great. And then if you see Pulse starting to drop and coming near where you're going to get liquidated, you can actually go out and buy Pulse and put it back in. That's what I would do. Any thoughts on Jax Lemon's that coin launching in a month? Not really, tech dude. I got to learn more about it. I'm not one of these people that is in awe that he worked for Google. I know so many tech giants and friends that have been around tech forever. So people might love it that he was an original Googler. Cool. You know, we'll see. Let's see how the coin does. Let's see what the coin looks like and what the tech behind it looks like. Man, Bitcoin 18,731. Jeez. Sensational. TV Bishop. Look, I got nothing against it. I hope it does really well. I'm just not, I won't put a lot of money in it. Wanted to ask you, since you've been seeing a few crypto cycles, when Bitcoin was about 60-ish, were you at that moment pulled into the 100,000 BTC narrative, or were you just DCA selling out of your bags? No way was I pulled into it. No way. I thought we were getting way overbought. And then Richard confirmed what I was thinking, and he came out and he tweeted out the parabola, and I felt good about my decision. Like, uh-oh, things are going down. It wasn't, and then we saw that really weird pump again that he talks about a couple months later. I was like, what the hell's going on? That one I did not expect. I thought the bull market was done. I thought we were just having a really slow bull. It wasn't going to do much. But it went out and it beat that all-time high again. And I thought we were going to ride up to 75, 76,000 before we turned over. But it just petered out at 69 again. Rolled back over. In the moment, it's difficult versus hindsight. So how do you handle it? I don't trade. You just stick to plan and cash out. Yeah, I have plans, set numbers, and I get out with certain things. With the Hex one, I got lucky. We just went on a wild bull market. I was expecting in 2021 for Hex to max out at 21 or 2.5 cents. I was one of the bears in the community. And I did not know Pulse Chain was going to get launched. So in January, February, March, I was saying, okay, by the end of the year, Hex will probably be 2.5 cents. We peaked out at 56 cents or something like that. But that's because Pulse Chain was announced. And then we had the Pulse X sacrifice too. And that's what kept Hex going good. It was nuts. Susie says 7 to 902 from Jordan. Jordan is Waters Above, and he's coming on later this week. 3 days. He'll be on with me on the 21st. But it's not going to be the same time slot. I'll probably do this interview with him earlier in the evening. I think it's 9 p.m. And then I'll come on and I'll just talk with you guys too. RH was drunk when he said that. I think Richard just said that it's 92% dip and we are near the bottom and it's a good time to get in. Yeah. I mean, when you're talking about going to $1 to $2, you're not going to care whether you got it at 1 cent or 3 cents. Really, seriously. Hi, Randy. What do you think the Fed says this Wednesday? Bullish, or will they crash the market? They're going to crash the market, guys. They're going to raise the rates. I'm telling you, this is war. This isn't about inflation. This is war between the U.S., who wants to keep their hegemony. I'm going to repeat this 100 times, guys. The U.S. wants to keep their dollar standard around the world. The Russia, China, India, South Africa, and Brazil, they want their assets, their gold, their silver, their wheat, their gas, their oil. They want that to be taken seriously, and they want their money backed by hard assets. And then you have Europe just kind of drunk. They can't go anywhere. They're just stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. So there's a battle going on between the BRIC nations and the U.S. And the U.S. can throw a lot of weight around with interest rates. I think they're going to keep raising interest rates to hurt the other nations, to make them bend the knee. I'm well off just 2K to burn for gamble. No worries. Oh, Pac-Man, that's fine. That'll be fun. You have such a nice vibe, Randy. Thank you, Susie. Appreciate it. I was brokering gold and silver in early 80s, have seen it all, and metals are nothing compared to potential gains in cryptos. Absolutely, Bob. You are right. Yeah. Gold and silver is just the emergency stuff, It does something in our brains. We are wired for gold and silver for some reason, or pretty much gold, right? And crypto is our gambling side. Freaking gold, silver. As far as getting me excited, man, nothing like crypto. Jordan mentioned in his Patreon video that he's going to talk to someone in the Hex community again. Left a comment. I was looking forward to it. That was me. Yeah. 21st. Studied Gann and Wyckoff back then. That stuff still works today. Yes, it does. That's funny. You're speaking of the Wyckoff method, and Jordan from Waters Above, he likes using the Wyckoff. Going to watch the LL used for a bit before we try it. The harmonic hexagon, that's a very smart play. And you can actually see how it's working right now on the test net. They're actually doing it, so it works already. Look up the haunted strategy for using liquid loans. Yes, the haunted strategy is very cool. There's some people have actually made charts for it too, where you can borrow against your money, go out and buy more pulse chain, add that to your leverage position, and just keep doing that again and again and again. It's just, I simplified it, but it's awesome. Zen is a free claim. Yep. I'm saying when it comes down to buying it, I tend to buy tokens I like. Yep, free mint. Do you think PZen guy dumping his hex to pump his PZen? I don't know. Is PZen pumping, Highman? I haven't checked. We are not even to reach 100,000 next bull, but 90,000. Sell 88 to be sure. Tony, that's not a bad plan. Welcome to the channel, buddy. Just, yeah, 90,000 sounds good to me. Buy hex at 0.0136 area. Bob, that's fair. Get your buy orders in, people. I was listening to Jordan's Red Pill Patreon today and was hoping it was you when he mentioned the Hex channel interview coming. Yep, that's me. Isn't the loan token a no-brainer? Stake it and earn USDL and PLS perpetually? Thoughts? Absolutely. That's why I went so, I think I sacrificed 3,000 for liquid loans. It's not a lot of money, but all my plan is to do is to take all of those LL tokens, stake them to earn USDL, which is their stablecoin, and PLS, Pulse Chain. WHEX is pumping again. Awesome. People are having funny over there. They're funny. They're having fun over there. Pac-Man, thank you. Please, guys. Randy, I enjoy your podcast, but I'm 72 now, and reading my charts tells me Hex going to smash down. Yeah, I totally agree. Did you see that earlier when we were talking about how possible 0.008? And I'm not worried about it one bit. I rode all the way up to 56 cents. I took out a couple $100,000. I'm going back down. Good to see you, Randy. Getting close now. Yes, it is, T-Bird. God, getting chills just thinking about it. What price do you like for Hex as a limit order? You don't ever want to do round numbers in crypto. So I would always do something like a 1.1 or 1.2. I'm not setting it limit orders for myself, but if you guys are looking to get in, those are some great prices. Now, I'm not saying that's going to hit that, but you might have one of those candles where it goes down really deep and you might catch some. Now, the problem with crypto limit orders on the DEX is that sometimes they don't hit. It's not like a centralized exchange. So sometimes the price will actually go lower. It'll say on the charts that it went lower than your actual limit order, but your limit order never gets filled. I don't know why that's happening, but people that use Matcha have said that's happened. I never heard anybody saying it happened on CowSwap though. So check CowSwap. We gotta look at this again over here. I'm gonna go back to the chart. Look at this. Look at Bitcoin. Let's go on the 15-minute here. 15. We got a green ORX indicator. Listen, don't use the ORX indicator on the 15-minute chart. It's only meant for weekly or above. But yeah, getting a little pump going on in Bitcoin. 18,778. They're gonna get you all in, and they're gonna, not you guys, but they're gonna get the plebs in, and then they're gonna sacrifice them. Be very careful this week, guys. I would not be buying anything. These next couple weeks is just sit back, let the speculators, make lots of money, let them get wrecked, and just be peaceful and rest, and come and check me out every night at 10 p.m. Central, or for most of you guys, it's Eastern, 11 p.m. And don't worry about losing money. You don't have to. That's the thing. A couple people in the community are making fun of me for doing this series. And I'm like, listen, guys, I respect Judaism. I respect the fact that the majority of people high up in the financial system happen to be Jewish, and they happen to follow their religion seriously. So that's why I think it's real. It's a real deal. To me, it's nothing to be laughed at, but I understand some people laugh at it. But in my opinion, that's foolhardy. If a cycle proves itself over and over and over and over again, and you can see it in the charts, it's not something to laugh at. Something to embrace, and just know that it happens every 7 years. The slates get cleaned, wiped clean, and it's time to build again for 7 more years. And I'm hoping the next 6 years are going to be phenomenal for all of us. Most of you guys in this chat are going to be totally retired by the end of the next bull run. And I want you guys, everyone, to come down and visit. Come down to Panama and have a visit, or come over if you're in Australia or Europe. So, yeah, here we go. The plunge of red has begun. Yes, it has, but now Bitcoin's getting a little pump. Weird. Yeah, the price of LL can be zero. We still collect USDL and Pulse. That's absolutely right. And if it keeps going down, you can just buy more liquid loans and keep stacking, so that you get a larger percentage of the pools and get more of the USDL and Pulse. Patience, yes, have patience. Price has to go down low enough to cover the gas fees, and our bot still make money for limit orders. It's a good call. Yes, Bobby, thank you. Bear market over, boys. Randy confirmed. It is not, Steve. It is not. We are not done here. Hey, Marion, welcome. Some good things to ponder for Shemitah Jubilee. Okay, the Soldier Pete, I'll have to look. I can't highlight that. Can you PM me that one, Soldier? Okay, Micah, you're welcome. In 6 years, my residency expires. Maybe I could live there in Panama. Sure, Marion. Minimum at the current time, minimum you would need to live a nice life in the city would be about $2,000 a month. If you go outside the city, that drops substantially, down to maybe $1,300, $1,400. But I wouldn't risk it. Stay in the city, especially the first couple of years. There's way too much correlation for it just to be mysticism. We don't have to believe in Shemitah, but market movers do. That is absolutely right. It's out. Would you please cover hex staking in one of your streams? Yeah, sure. I can do that. Thank you so much. Hex, so many people, they just keep their hex liquid, and that's not a problem. It's just that every day you're getting diluted, because the hex stakers, they're earning I'll go over a brief one right now. Hex has an inflation rate of 3.69%. The people that are staked earn that 3.69% annually. Currently, I think it's about 9.5% or 9% of the people that hold Hex actually have their Hex staked. So only those people earn that 3.69%. So if 100% of the Hex was staked, our interest rate, or our rate would be 3.69%. But right now, we're earning closer to, on a 15-year or a 10-year, but closer to 34%, something like that. 34% APY. That's pretty darn good. On a 1 year, I think it's like 14 or 15% APY. Hex staking is pretty simple. I can actually make a video on it. I'll make a separate video on staking Hex. I know there's some good ones out there, Crypto Coffee and those guys, but their videos are now dated. So I'll make my video about traditional staking of Hex with Hedron as a HSI, and then turning it into an NFT, and then selling the NFT for ICOSA. So I'll do all 4 different versions to help break it down for you guys. If we all know they're going to raise rates next month, is it risky still for us to short the shit out of BTC? Look, shorting is leverage. I never recommend it. It's because these whales can move the price around too easily. Why stay in the city first couple of years? Why? Because you want to get to know the country, and from here you can go anywhere. The Panama transportation system is actually pretty awesome. So we got the subway, the metro system. We got a train that pretty soon that's going to be finished next by 2 years. That'll take you across the bridge. You got the tons of islands that you can go to from here on boat. You can go to Cologne in like 30 minutes by car. It's just living here is so awesome. It's so central, right in the middle of the country. So it's pretty great. That's the key. Those who move markets forward follow moon cycles, and we would be wise to trade with them. Yes, right, Bob. Not against them. After all, who's in control? The gentleman we're bringing on the 21st, Jordan, he's big time into the moon cycles. No, I have not, Ryan, but other people have, and they're there. It's all set. No problem. No problem. I love how Mike Alfred keeps tweeting about X price while his BTC price is taking as well. Yeah, he's a dick. And that's how I'll end it. Cheers, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern. Ciao.